Shalom, Yabba Shim Yashad, Brakatah to the brothers, Yahweh Shemar, Thun by Shim Yashad. Peace officer, that one about coming to you once again. This is the ISUPK law class, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. I see you, Quataza. All right. I see you checked in from Buffalo. In Christ. Let's make sure that we like, share, and subscribe, of course. Before we even get too deep, too far, start off with the one thing to bring out real quick. There will be class. There will be class that will be held this Saturday. This Saturday at the Merriweather Library on Jefferson. All right, this is in Buffalo, New York. That's 1324 Jefferson Ave, Buffalo, New York, 14208. So for the brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, who's been asking, who's been looking, hey, where's the ISUPK at? You know what I'm saying? You know, where these brothers at? We are going to be at the Merriweather Library on Jefferson in Buffalo, New York. It is right down the block. It's down the block from where the massacre had occurred in Buffalo, where our brothers and sisters was murdered, of course. And our brothers and sisters, they need help. They need assistance, of course. And that's what the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge is doing. Underneath the leadership of Commander Jimmy Hanna, of course, we are following the instructions of Yahweh Shai, which told us to go out to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right. There are brothers and sisters who are out here completely lost, confused, not knowing what they should and what they should not be doing, of course. And here we are going out to the people to teach the people, to feed the people. So yeah, got questions. Go ahead and type your questions. Real quick, I want to hit precept Jeremiah chapter 3. Starting at verse 14. Actually, we can start at verse 12. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 12. It says, "Go and proclaim these words towards the north and say, return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever." So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, one of the things that we should realize and recognize is that the Most High wants us to succeed. He wants us in a better position. He does not want us to stay in the oppressed state. The issue comes and stems from our failure to adhere to his law, his commandments, his statutes. The reasons why we get punished when we don't keep the scriptures. We think that we're doing a good job when we say, come as you are. And we think that it means that if you are a lover of yourself, meaning that if you are a man loving on the flesh of another man, that the Most High still wants you, then you're mistaken. If you think that you can be a drug addict and continue to be a drug addict and the Most High wants you, you are mistaken. If you think that you can go out and prostitute and whore yourself out to men, to the other nations, and the Most High still desires you, you are mistaken. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? We get, it's almost like we take a stance that God is whatever society says. Let me give you an example. Hey, Shalom, Cat. That was from Thug. If this nation, as in America, had a law in the Constitution that said no one over the age of 18 is allowed to run for office, we would be ruled by a bunch of children. If you watch some of these TV series out here, I think it was like Stargate, Universe, or something of that nature. There was a planet that only had children. Once you turn the age 19, which is the age of, I don't know what they were calling it, you had to sacrifice yourself. Which was a foolish mindset. The people would not live past the age of 19. Because according to what they thought, according to the law, you brought death. It's a silly custom. It's a silly practice that's not founded based upon anything that makes sense. Fortunately, of course, someone came along, of course, and disproved this theory. So now children that were 18, turning 19, did not have to go slit their own throats. Just like there's this common misconception that we have to go out and fight for this country. What are we fighting for? We're fighting for a nation that says the month of June is Gay Pride Month. I thought last month was Gay Pride Month or Coming Out Month. Last month was Coming Out Month. This month is Gay Pride Month. What's next month? They've already came and said Mother's Day, and we don't celebrate Mother's Day, but they already said Mother's Day should not be called Mother's Day. It should be Parents' Day. Well, what do you think is in store for the Father's Day? Those of you who wants to be fathers, to be called fathers, they probably won't even do anything because, you know what I'm saying, it's not that big of a deal, right? What is it? I remember growing up, I would hear something on a radio show. It'd be like, real fathers, real men. Something local here in the city of Syracuse, whatever, in this region. But it was more so catered towards the Black community. The different achievements that we have, of course, though. Well, with gay rights, gay pride, and everything else, though, that's been pushed and peddled, of course, you can't go out and talk about how you are a strong Black man and that a boy and a girl are supposed to grow up, you know what I'm saying, to come together and build a family. You can't talk about those things. You can't talk about, being stern. You can't talk about being, showing discipline within the household, because according to society, it's something that becomes oppressive. It becomes child abuse. Our children can't go to school and say, we don't celebrate Christmas. Oh, that's fine. Well, we don't celebrate Christmas either. We have what we call, no, we're not doing that either. What you're just doing is you're renaming birthdays into born day, right? You're changing the name for something that's already there. The Most High said, you cannot make straight what he has made crooked. So us, Israel, who has gone and started to follow after the societal norms, which allows us to be lovers of ourselves, which allows us, to let our children rule over us. Because we have given into fleshly desires. We've fallen into vain deceit. We have not been led by our people. Who leads us? A nation that cannot save us. A nation that cannot help us. And we constantly go down and we march and we pray. And we march and we pray. And we beg and we ask. They give us the stuff that we ask for, but not when we want it. It's like in those movies, right? When they talk about a jinn, they say, be careful what you wish for. So you wish for, to be the richest man that ever lived. Well, they grant you that risk. They grant you that wish. What happens afterwards? You die like 24 hours later. Does it make sense? They gave us a bill that says it is a federal hate crime to lynch. What happened in Buffalo? People weren't lynched. They took guns out and started shooting. If you see what's going on, across the nation. I saw one clip where there was a class of 5th and 6th graders being taught how to use, rifles as part of their PE. Airsoft rifles, they're aiming and shooting. Guess what? They all got a passing mark. But we're happy for legislation. We're happy for a bill that was passed that says lynching is now a hate crime. When they're pulling out, bullets, guns, telling us, here's your reparations. That's a major issue. That's a major problem. Because we have turned to join this nation and we were told not to. That's why the scripture says, "O backsliding Israel, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever." The Most High will not stay angry at us forever. But if we are constantly pouring ourselves out to other nations, we're constantly giving ourselves, to whatever God, that they proposition. They was so big on, oh, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. Well, what's the approval rating of Kamala and Joe Biden now? Don't they got a book come out, you know what I'm saying, that's talking about the dysfunction between the White House? They got a book coming out about these things right now. New York Times. We are going out and we're voting to put man above us, not even our own. Listen, we don't even put our own in place. Barack Obama is not one of us. Kamala Harris is not one of us. Listen, I ain't telling nobody, listen, we don't vote. But if y'all want to, go right down, you know what I'm saying, Commander Junior Hunter. There's a line where you can write independent or whoever you want. Just write Commander Junior Hunter. Put Commander Junior Hunter, you know what I'm saying, as the president and see what happens. I don't think you understand what I'm saying, though, but nonetheless, those that are here in the school, they understand. They understand what I'm saying. Our brothers and sisters are lying dead in the streets. I read an article where there was 170 something killed over a 3-day weekend. Memorial Day weekend, 170 something people killed. Another 400 some odd people, you know what I'm saying, injured. Last year, we were marching saying defund the police. Are you still saying defund the police? Or are you asking for more police presence? Or are you asking, you know what I'm saying, for more safety precautions and procedures in place? What's going on right now? How do you feel? Oh, backsliding people. Make up your mind. You want the police or you don't want the police? What was I reading? South Carolina, I think it is. South Carolina got some craziness going down. They said the chief of police had to fire 3 officers. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get this. They said they was getting mighty bold. It started with something as simple as there was a what was it? The dashboard cam. Dashboard cam revealed the conversation. It was an audit that was happening. Audit revealed police stating very explicitive comments and statements towards people of color. Saying something effing N-word. Let me see if I can pull this up for you real quick. He said body cam, Salakia. I misspoke on that.
I know what you picked up over there, okay?
What I picked up?
Yeah.
You know?
No, man, we're not watching y'all tell me what's going on, man.
I'll tell you what's going on. Come on.
No, bro, what's going on? I do record this. Y'all got y'all what y'all got y'all
We're right now, so come on out.
What's going on?
Yeah, come on out. Come on out.
Don't grab me.
Well, we're telling you, give me a law for it. If you don't get out, you're about to get ripped out of the car.
Go ahead.
So don't.
I got a bank problem. Don't rip me out.
I'm not trying to do that. So come on out. We'll explain it to you.
Dude, come on, step out the car. Let me go.
No, I'm not letting you go.
Bro, let me
This is
go,
the
bro.
last chance, man.
Get the fuck out.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that?
Yeah, come on out. Come on out.
No, don't grab me.
Well, we're telling you, give me a law for it. If you don't get out, you're about to get ripped out of the car.
Go ahead.
So don't.
I got a bank problem. Don't rip me out.
I'm not trying to do that. So come on out. Come on out. We'll explain.
Now this brother done said multiple occasions, what's going on then? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Right? On multiple occasions, he said, what's going on?
Dude, come on, let me go.
No, I'm not letting you go.
Bro, let me
This is
go.
your last chance, man.
No. Get the fuck out.
Now this brother done said that he got a back problem. He said, I have a back problem. And he began to choke him. You ever see, you know what I'm saying, Homer Simpson and Bart Simpson? The way that, you know what I'm saying, Homer would choke the hell out of Bart? This is far worse than that. He was choking the life out of his brother, man.
No.
Hold on.
What's going on? I've been living my face, my grandson. What's going on? Somebody please put my face. Hey, bro. I'm telling you what's going on.
Just wrapping up, so get the nose thing. Yeah, we need to go there now. Hey, if we can do it, it's still there.
Yeah, we have to make sure we don't have anything.
Listen, I don't know about y'all, man. I don't know about y'all though, but I mean the simple fact is that okay, kind of slack. I don't know about y'all, but listen, that was excessive force. Excessive force that was being used. He literally put his hands on his neck and started to strangle him. And this is the same people that y'all want to come out and protect y'all, protect and serve. Y'all want to go vote, you know what I'm saying, and put someone in office that's going to hire people like this. That's what you guys are promoting and pushing for. Every time you go out there, you say, vote or die, click the ballot. You need to have somebody with the similar views. We obviously have different views of how you should deal with one another. We don't have the same views. We don't have the same mindset. That's because we have went away We have turned our backs to the Most High. This is what the precept says. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 12. Go and proclaim these words towards the north and say, return thou backsliding Israel. Look, we have to stop looking and trusting into our oppressor, expecting them to set us free, expecting that they're going to provide some sense of justice, that they're going to provide some type of equality. You know how they got this nation? They forced our brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, off of their land. That's what they did. They forced them off the land. They didn't volunteer, says, yeah, we're going to leave. Y'all can have this. That's not, you know what I'm saying, what our brothers and sisters was trying to do. They were trying to, you know what I'm saying, just go. No. They were what? Forced off the land. Treaties and all types of whatever else you would call it, broken constantly. It says, return thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord. I will not cause my anger to fall upon you. It's a lot. I will not cause my anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, said the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever. Look, there's the times when we've been on punishment as children. And that punishment, you know what I'm saying, it may have been for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. However, what happens? As a parent, you might say, all right, 2 weeks is a little harsh. I'm going to give you 1 week. Depending on what it was, maybe even just for the weekend. The Most High say, my anger is not forever. He wants us to succeed. He wants us to grow. He wants us to be in rulership. But our mindset is not of rulership quality. We don't have the mind, you know what I'm saying, of a people that's going to go out and succeed, that's going to lead other people. We have the mind that says, lead me. As Captain was bringing out last night, we are children. That's what we are, children. Let's keep reading. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God. We won't admit our wrongdoings. We won't admit that we made choices that have put us in this position today. We wonder why, you know what I'm saying, our children are going out and hurting themselves, while they're strung out on drugs, while they're out here cutting themselves. Because we've made choices and decisions that we shouldn't have never made. We learn lessons that we don't have to learn. And when I say that is, when your father, your mother tells you not to do something, you just don't do it. Hey, listen, don't go outside after dark. But you don't listen. You still go outside after dark. Regardless of what the reasons were, you were given specific instructions not to go out after dark. And some of you wisecracks, you know what I'm saying, out here be like, well, I didn't get in until after dark. You'll try to push it off to that. Oh, well, I was already outside. I didn't go out. I was outside. Go outside after dark is the same as be home before dark. It's the same thing. But we look for whatever loopholes. We look for ways, you know what I'm saying, to go against whatever instructions and guidance that we have been told and given. That's a problem. That's an issue. That's why, you know what I'm saying, we get chastised. That's why another nation, you know what I'm saying, has come up against us. That's why all the other nations that have come to this country have been flourishing, of course. And they've been doing it off of the work that we've done. We've gone out with the civil rights movement. We march, we protest. Now you got LGBTQ alphabet soup every month of the year. Every holiday is going to be alphabet soup. Every children's movie is going to be alphabet soup. Every main movie is going to be alphabet soup. Why? Because we have backslide. We have turned our backs on the Most High, and we won't admit that we were wrong. We won't admit, you know what I'm saying, that we made a mistake. We won't admit that we went somewhere that we shouldn't have went, that we did things that we were not supposed to do, because we are stubborn and stiff-necked people. Because we will follow after leaders who is not going to teach us according to the scriptures, according to knowledge. But we follow after people who will give us our flesh in lustful desires. Oh, it's okay. You don't got to pay your tithes. You don't got to go to that church. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, keep the Sabbath. The laws are done away with. God, I mean, like Cap said, it's also Oklahoma. You got 3 dead in a hospital shooting. The brother said, yeah, it looked like, you know what I'm saying, he slammed his head up against the door. That possibly may go be. Listen, he grabbed him by the neck. His tongue was out his mouth. Like he's dying. And then he punched. Listen, if y'all paid attention to those gloves, those weren't just, it wasn't just fabric. There's plastic or metal. Those are a special type, those are tactical gloves. So as you punch, you don't bruise or hurt yourself. But whatever you punch and hit, well, that's a different story. This grown man was crying. You punched me in my face. And of course, they still wouldn't tell him the reasons that they pulled him over. They wouldn't tell him the reasons that they told him to get out of the car. You had a cop on both sides of the vehicle. And there was about 6 more behind him. There was about 6 cop vehicles in that vicinity. There was more pulling up to the scene, and there was, 1 or 2 in the front. He was completely surrounded. Where's he going to go? What is he going to do? Is he a mass shooter, you know what I'm saying, like what happened in Buffalo? Or South Carolina during the storm? You're right. We are a proud and we are a stiff-necked people. And that's what the scripture, that's what this precept is talking about. Look, we have to first admit to the sins that we're committing. If anybody was watching the radio show with the Generals on Monday, was bringing out how Master P daughter, she was at it. If you watch the interview, she refused to get treatment. Back here. 1 second. There we go.
I feel like that trip really opened my mind to see how I would miss you the most because you were always here for me and one time be in Hollywood seeing with those celebrity friends, and I feel like I don't need to go to rehab. I feel like I could actually, I don't need to go to rehab. I feel like I would sing with those celebrity friends, and I feel like I don't need to go to rehab. I feel like I could actually do good without rehab.
What you hear right now, what you're hearing right now is what Israel says on a regular basis, man. This is Israel. I don't need to make the change. As long as, you know what I'm saying, my people do it, as long as my children do it, which is something so horrible.
Say that, Tata, but on the serious side, I think we should get some professional help just to make sure you stay on track. So let's not say you don't want to go to it. I think you should at least try it because I don't want you to go back to this.
I have friends that have been through this, and it takes 2 years of being completely sober to really be like you can walk away from this.
Like, just even if somebody brings
This is what we say all the time. We always say these type of things, man. We talk about, you know what I'm saying, how we talk about, you know what I'm saying, how we can fix whatever. Nah, we can't fix the problem. We can't fix the issues. Not ourselves. Nah, we can't do that. What we need to do, what we need to focus on is first what? Admitting that we have an issue. Admitting that we have a problem. And we need to make the corrections. We need to change. This scripture tells us, oh, backsliding children. You don't have the solution. Why? Because not having solution is how you got here in the first place. That's how you became an addict. That's how you went down the wrong path. That's how you went down the wrong road. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 13. Only acknowledge thine iniquity that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. And ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. No matter how much we try to do something ourselves, we can't do it. We can't fix it. We can't fix the problem. We can't fix the issues. We can't change. The fact is, you have $1 million idea, you have $1 billion idea, concept. It never works. Not for you, at least. But for the oppressor, for the other nations, don't they got KFC? Don't they got Jack Daniels? I mean, we can go on and on. Ain't your mama? For the same dollar of the stimulus check that they was giving out last year is what they paid slaves for the work that they did. That made them rich. A stimulus check. And we can sit there and argue and talk about, oh, that was so much. They're bringing in millions and billions. They're having generational wealth over it. And we have to fight and argue with our children, you know what I'm saying, just to go to rehab. And you're right, you talk to Zayah, I'm saying, nah, this brother doesn't have the truth. You understand? Look. We need to make sure that we follow the instructions of the Most High. Because all we get is death and destruction, man. When we do outside that. Verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord. For I am married unto you, and I will take you, one of a city and two of a family. Now, here's what we should realize, man. As the Most High said, till death do us part. I am married unto you. Sex is marriage. A man and a woman comes and lay together with one another, of course, till death do you part. That same relationship that the Most High has with us, Israel, we are supposed to have with one another. You understand? But guess what? We are too stubborn and stiff-necked, you know what I'm saying, to realize. This is all we do right here. This is it.
Being with those celebrity friends, and I feel like I don't need to go to rehab. I feel like I could actually do good without rehab.
I mean, you say that, Tata, but on the serious side, I think we should get some professional help just to make sure you stay on track. So let's not say you don't want to go to rehab. I think you should at least try it, because I don't want you to go back to this.
I have friends that have been through this, and it takes 2 years of being completely sober to really be like you can walk away from this.
Like even if somebody brings something around you, I don't want you to go back to like, oh, I'm just gonna have a little drink. I'm just want to take a little smoke. Around, like, to me, I could be around people that's drinking and smoking, and I don't want it. I really hope that Tata is serious about making a change. In my house, I'm a drill sergeant, because you need somebody to tame you and to tell you, no, we're going to fix this. By us doing this with my daughter, hopefully we'll send that same message to her mom, like, you know, if you need to get help, we're here for you.
The Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge is saying the same thing. We're saying to our children, we're saying to our brothers, we're saying to our sisters, look, we need help. We're here for you. We have extended arms, you know what I'm saying, to our brothers and sisters to what? Follow after Christ. To live a prosperous life. Not to go out here and suffer. But we are a stiff-necked people. Keep reading. He says, and I will bring you to Zion. Verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart. Pastors. What are the pastors for? What are the pastors for? And why is it important? That is after the heart of the Most High. Why is that significant? Why is that important? I mean, we could go to the church, can't we? We should just be able to go to whatever church that we want to. We should be able to choose our own pastors. Just like we should be able to choose our what? Our husbands and our wives. Once again, Captain Johnny, I was breaking out last night, though. How many different artists or movie stars, performers, entertainers, whatever you would call them, have gone out and made marriages with other nations? What do they do every single time? They give away their fortune. Their fortune goes, you know what I'm saying, to everybody else. It goes to the other nations. I mean, listen, I don't know how Robert De Niro did it. But after being married that long, he only gives his wife $1 million? Good night. We be married less than 2 years and forced to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in child support. We don't even be married. It's just a child. That's a problem. It's a real issue. You want to be led by someone with the same mindset of the Most High, with the same desires of the Most High. Forget, you know what I'm saying, whatever personal interest that you have. We want to see all Israel make it to Zion, make it to the kingdom. That's what we want to see. But the Most High says, hey, you have to turn back first. Stop being a backsliding child. Stop giving into the lust, you know what I'm saying, of your flesh, man. Stop being, you know, uncircumcised of the heart. We got to stop being like the other nations as well. Let's look at 1 Kings. 1 Kings chapter 11. starting at verse 1. 1 Kings 11:1. It says, God, we got to stop finding an excuse to be a sinner. We got to stop these things. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. So we spit in that propaganda that says love is blind. That's a lie. The Most High said for us to what? For us not to go into them. And for what? Not us to let them come unto us. So, yeah, Bronny Jr., little Bronny. No, he shouldn't have gone, you know what I'm saying, to no prom or anything, you know, with the heathen. This is what happened, you know what I'm saying? It said King Solomon loved many strange women. And included Edomites, women of the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart from their gods. It's like it, your heart after their gods. So instead of us serving the God of the Most High, instead of serving, you know what I'm saying, the one true power, of course, so by us joining and making marriages, remember Deuteronomy 7:3 through 6? So this is the same thing. We will be made to serve their gods, not our God. Their gods. They have the sun god, the moon god, the fertility god, the day god, the night god, the god of the wind, the god of the summer, the god of the dance. Like seriously. Go on and on and on. They have many gods that they serve and they worship. They worship cows. They worship donkeys. They worship asses. Why? Because that was their customs. And for us, we were not to what? Follow after their customs. We were not to turn our backs on the Most High. Yet we did. So here we stand in 2022. Marching and the praying and the begging. Marching and the praying and the begging. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 16. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived. It said that your heart be not deceived. King Solomon did what? He gave and followed after these other women and their gods and whatever else. Why? Because of the heart. Because he loved these women. Because he served gods, not of his father. That's where we went away. That's where, you know what I'm saying, we went wrong. Because we weren't supposed to take marriages of other nations. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. We do that today. We serve other gods and we worship them. This woman came out and spoke about how she was tricked into being transgender. She was tricked into being transgender. She didn't realize it. If I could. Let me see real quick. Slacky Cap, it was 5. 5 are dead from the Oklahoma shooting. 5 are dead. So I good. Bear with me for a second. It's like it's taking too much time. But it says, verse 17, and then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you. So when we go out here, we talk about, you know what I'm saying, that same-sex relationships being gay. So that when we talk about how we had no choice in the matter, that's not true. Scripture says, you know what I'm saying, do not be deceived and turn aside and serve other gods. Yes, brothers and sisters have been traumatized from rape, molestation, right? We have gone and turned into drug addictions as a coping mechanism. We've gone and we accepted I enjoy, you know what I'm saying, this hurt and suffering. Because that's the only way we knew how to cope with it. And now in the media, we're pushing and we're peddling and we're talking about what? We're talking about how it is acceptable to do these behaviors when it was never acceptable, when it was never anything that we should be doing at all. They have changed the medical terminologies. For what? For what purpose? Verse 17, and then the Lord wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not fruit for not her fruit, unless ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Our deaths will come, our suffering will come from us choosing the wrong side. The side that says woman has the right to choose. The side that says God doesn't care who you love. Love has no color. The side that says, well, he was abused as a child. First Corinthians chapter 15. First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. Wait. So you mean to tell me that you should not be in the company of evildoers? You telling me that you will be influenced by those who are not keeping the law? Does it make sense that we do what? That we continue to carry about, gathering ourselves around people who, what's their communication? You talking about selling drugs? They're talking about how men ain't worth anything. They talk about how we should go out and vote. that it's okay, God loves you in spite of. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to give up, you know what I'm saying, smoking blunt wraps? Are you willing to give up getting high so that your good manners are not corrupted? Are you willing to acknowledge that you've been wrong? I know I had to. Shalaki, I was wrong. I thought I was being kind and righteous. I didn't know I was being, I don't know if I really thought if I was being righteous or not. I thought I was just being good. And God knew my heart. You know the saying. Well, God knows my heart. So what happened? I continued living in sin. Doing all sorts of ungodly acts. Why? Because I'm a good person. But I did not understand it. I didn't understand, that it was not lawful for me to sleep with the Amorites or the Edomites or the Moabites or the Hittites. There's always that empty feeling that was always there. I have to learn your culture. What about mine? Goddamn. But the only thing I got to offer and tell you is that we come from slaves. We're the descendants of slaves. That's my only explanation. Oh yeah, you should come be a part of me. And why is that? Well, we descend from slaves. Right. Verse 34, awake to righteousness and not sin. You lying in the bed next to, I'm saying, a wicked man, a wicked woman. You lying down with someone that's committing all sorts of grievous acts, that have all sorts of sinful mannerisms. Wake up, not to sin. Wake up to righteousness. Wake up, I'm saying, and conduct yourself not the way as they do in the church. Well, what do you mean? Aren't we supposed to strive to be more like Christ? Yeah. We should strive to be more like Yahushua. But what does that mean? Does that mean love every man on the face of the earth? I think it says to love Israel. I think that's the first precept that we was in. Oh, backsliding Israel. A lot of people want to get away from the Old Testament because Israel is mentioned so much in the Old Testament. They want to get away from King James, so it's the New King James. It's the NIV. It's the whatever makes me look good. Whatever allows me to carry on the way that I do. That's what it is. Scripture says, awake to righteousness. Brothers and sisters, I'm saying, that have come into the school are what? They were once were blind, they were asleep, they were dead. Cats was out here saying, I'm conscious. Had no idea that they are the problem to what is plaguing our brothers and sisters. That they're the reasons why our sons and daughters are in the prison systems, are in the whorehouses, are on the tables of Planned Parenthood, lie down in the morgue or in the graves. It's a problem. Awake to righteousness and not sin. Niggas running around here talking some I'm conscious, I'm conscious, I'm conscious. You still pushing drugs in the community. I'm conscious, I'm conscious, I'm conscious. But you still having sex with women and putting them away. I'm conscious, I'm conscious, I'm conscious. You still out living a hot summer lifestyle. I'm conscious, I'm conscious, I'm conscious. But you won't put down the drugs, and doing so could save your life and your future generations' lives. You'll be awake to sin. You caught up, you conscious, you know what I'm saying? You got that upper thinking, that third eye and came alive and you awoke. But you continue to sin. You don't have no discipline. You don't have the willpower to say, stop this. Where some have not the knowledge of God, Yahweh, I speak this to your shame. So there are those that will claim to state that what? They conscious. They'll claim that they're awoke. They're far from it. They're everything but. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 7. Oh, Slacky. 6 and 9, Slacky. First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? So you could be out here talking about some you conscious. But if you are not awake to righteousness, you are not going to inherit the kingdom. If you're not keeping these laws, such commandments of the Most High, you are not going to inherit the kingdom. The unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom. So what will the unrighteous inherit? Everything opposite. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, neither idolaters, neither adulterers, so neither fornicators, right? Having unlawful sex, idolaters, idol worshipers, worshiping the golden calf, right? You worship this image of a lion. People that worship, you know what I'm saying, the shield of David, calling it the Star of David. Idol worshipers. They look at that image in the church. Mary, baby Jesus, all claiming to be what? Righteous? But know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor adulterers, nor adulterers, men having sex with married women, women having sex outside of their marriage, nor effeminate, nor effeminate. You're going to be effeminate. But you are not going to inherit the kingdom. Nor abusers of themselves with mankind. LGBTQ alphabet soup. You're out here, you know what I'm saying, taking gender hormones. Verse 10, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God, of Yahweh. So you out here doing all these things. You're making marriages, you know what I'm saying, with a nation of people that you should not be making marriages with. You're having sex with people that you should not be having sex with. You're saying that you should go work for the police because you get a good pay, good retirement. Nah, think not. Verse 11, and such were some of you, but ye are washed, but ye are sanctified, but ye are justified in the name of the Lord Yahushua by the Spirit of our Yahweh power. Now, people think right there that gives a opening. See, You see what it says right there? What does it mean? Huh. The Most High said he will give you pastors, Jeremiah, after his own heart. Leaders. Meaning that we will teach the people how not to be adulterers, how not to be idlers or effeminate or drunkards or extortioners. We'll teach the people how not to do this. We'll teach the people how to have the same spirit as the Most High. We will fight for our people. We will die for our people. We will look out for our people. So that doesn't mean that you sell your brother out. That doesn't mean that you belittle them at all. Not one bit. So we take on the same spirit as the Most High. Galatians chapter 6. Verse 4. Let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not another. For every man shall bear his own burden. So, each and every single one of us will have our own battles that we will have to fight. One may want to fight the battle for you. One can't fight that battle for you. You have to fight it for yourself. You have to prove yourself. You have to be willing to what? Sacrifice. You have to be willing to give up sometimes. There are many times that we'll hold on so firmly and tightly to what we want and what we desire that we lose everything that we want and desire. But let every man prove his own work. Pay your tithes. You come to class. Did you donate? Did you help out the men? Did you help out the sisters? Did you make it to Passover? You got brothers who have that zeal. Hey man, listen. My people are hungry. Food. We got food for them. Drive hundreds of miles. The brother from Canada. Can't wait to see that brother again. He drove from the northern parts of Canada. I don't even want to think about I don't even want to think about, you know what I'm saying, how long it was. That was a long drive, a long journey to be with his brother, to be with his sisters. Brother could say he made it to Passover. So now he can do what? He can rejoice. They have encamped in Canada. He can rejoice. When another brother comes into the school, when another sister comes into the school. You damn right. It is only but the men of the ISUPK, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. For every man shall bear his own burden. I may not have a drug problem, but you might. There might be a sister, you know what I'm saying, who has a drug addiction. She's going to have to fight that battle. I can't fight it for her. I can only try to help her and aid her and give her the tools that she needs. But she will have to fight that battle herself. She will have to get up and come to class. She'll have to get up and stay in the scriptures. It's like it, sir. I got a question. It's like it, sir. I have the questions. And be willing to take the correction. Just like the men are willing to take the checking. Verse 6. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. Verse 7. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Whatsoever a man soweth, he will reap. If you do the work, if you put 100% in, you get 100% out. But if you put nothing in, you get nothing out. So you take the time, you dedicate. Think about it like this. Some of you, you know what I'm saying, retirement. If you put nothing into your retirement fund, if you do not work, you get nothing in return. If you put time and effort and energy, you'll get back time, effort, and energy. When you build up a business, when you build up a school, you put in time and energy. Jeff Bezos did not become who he is today by what? Lounging around watching Netflix all day. Yeah, we were talking about this last night. A man that is worth $1 million will more than likely surround himself around other people who have millions of dollars. What you put in is what you get out. If you put nothing in, you get nothing out. Galatians chapter 2, starting at verse 15. We who are Jews by nature and not sinners of the Gentiles, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Yahushua Mashiach. Even we have believed in Yahushua Mashiach, that we might be justified by the faith of Mashiach, and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. What does that mean? What does that say? Why is there a law? Does anybody know why there's a law? What reasons why? Why is there a law against murder? Is there a law against, going above a certain speed limit throughout the city? Does anybody know these things? That's a simpler way of saying it. How about, why is lynching now considered a federal hate crime? Why is there an anti-hate or discrimination against Asians? Well, the reasons why these laws are in place is because these things were happening. The law is done away with. So you tell me nobody has committed murder? No. People are still out here killing. So does that mean it's okay to murder? No, it doesn't. Remember, Yahushua said, obey the law of the land. Or it's like it, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Most High told us to obey the law of the land. So if there's a law against murder, does that mean that we can go out and just start killing people? La-ah. Because murder is still unlawful in this society, and of course, according to the Most High. So if we're not justified by the law, what does that mean? That we are not justified by the law. Is there a justification for this law to be in place? Put it to you simply. If people are driving down the street less than 30 miles an hour, would there need to be a law telling people not to drive 30 miles an hour? Above 30 miles an hour? The answer is la. There would be no need to put a law in place that says do not drive past 30 miles an hour in the city limits, because people are doing that. It would make sense to say do not drive past 25 an hour if that's the case. But because people are driving past 30 miles an hour, there are signs that tells people of the law, which is speed limit 30 miles an hour. On a highway, speed limit 55 miles an hour. 60, 70 miles an hour, depending on what state you are in, what zone. There's a law in place. Why? For you to follow. Because some people will go much faster. And of course, there's danger. So if there's danger with driving down the city street at 50 miles an hour, something must have happened. I can't tell you the countless number of stories of where I read about a child being put to death because some idiot speeding down the street. I ain't saying somebody that just, slipped, swerved, or whatever. I said some idiot speeding down the street. There's a difference. So there are laws in place that tells us to not to drive 30 plus miles an hour. City limits. Because your reaction time, the time that it would take to brake and not cause harm, even if you did hit somebody, that will hopefully yield that will not yield a fatality. In school zones where there are children, there's a speed limit of what? 20 miles an hour. And there's sometimes with the flashing lights. Well, the laws of the Bible are in place because what? We were not adhering to the laws. We made marriages with the other nations. We prostituted ourselves to the other nations. We defiled our bodies. We served other gods. And because of it, we became weak. We became vulnerable. And the Most High did not make a covenant with a people that was just like weak and vulnerable. So when we break the law, will be justified by the works of the law, which is the punishment that comes after. However, if we are justified by the faith of Yahushua Mashiach, where we keep the law and we follow after Yahushua, Jesus Christ, then there's no need for the law for us. We're dead to sin. There's no need for the law. But for those, you know what I'm saying, who do not follow after Yahweh Shai, we need otherwise. All right, so like it. God. So listen. Once again, this weekend, Buffalo, New York, at the Slovakia, you guys. At the Merriweather Library on Jefferson, 1324 Jefferson Ave, Buffalo, New York. The Defense Against White Supremacy, Captain Azania. All right. That is going to be at 12 noon. 12 noon. All right. 12 noon. So this is Israel School Universal Practical Knowledge, Star 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, underneath the leadership of Commander Junior Hanna. Root for new brother and sister. When new brother and sister come to school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're here to shut themselves to the world. If the brother or sister becomes interested in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission to head to marry. Tithes is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10 means 10th in Hebrew. Ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you treasure department or priest fund for you offer for a priest, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The Feast of First Fruits, June 12th, sundown. As I said before, we have the Defense Against White Supremacy in Buffalo, New York. It's going to be at the Merriweather Library at 12 noon. Captain Zaniyah. Let's not forget the Midwest Cookout. That's going to be July 21st through 24th. If anyone wants to be a trooper in school, start wearing our black boot, shirt, headband, scarf. With that, one person suit to the middle of Israel. Imagine. My Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Barak Thumb. There's a Matai. Saul. One person suit to the sisters. Of Israel. Imagine. My Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shabbat.